Hello and welcome to Lesson 31. Let's get started. I am not the victim of the world I see. Today's idea is the introduction to your declaration of release. Again, the idea should be applied to both the world you see without and the world you see within. In applying the idea, we will use a form of practice which will be used more and more, with changes as indicated. Generally speaking, the form includes two aspects, one in which you apply the idea on a more sustained basis, and the other consisting of frequent applications of the idea throughout the day. Two longer practice periods with the idea for today are needed, one in the morning and one at night. 3 to 5 minutes for each of these are recommended. During that time, look about you slowly while repeating the idea 2 or 3 times. Then close your eyes and apply the same idea to your inner world. You will escape from both together, for the inner is the cause of the outer. As you survey your inner world, merely let whatever thoughts cross your mind come into your awareness, each to be considered for a moment and then replaced by the next. Try not to establish any kind of hierarchy among them. Watch them come and go as dispassionately as possible. Do not dwell on any one in particular, but try to let the stream move on evenly and calmly, without any special investment on your part. As you sit and quietly watch your thoughts, repeat today's idea to yourself as often as you care to, but with no sense of hurry. In addition, repeat the idea for today as often as possible during the day. Remind yourself that you are making a declaration of independence in the name of your own freedom, and in your freedom lies the freedom of the world. The idea for today is also a particularly useful one to use in response to any form of temptation that may arise. It is a declaration that you will not yield to it and put yourself in bondage. It's pretty heavy, but if you think about it, the worry thoughts, the fear thoughts, the judgment thoughts, the holding on to things instead of choosing to forgive, you're really putting yourself in bondage. You are keeping yourself from being truly free. When you're afraid, you prevent yourself from doing all kinds of things. And that's not to say that you shouldn't listen to yourself as far as if your body is telling you there's some sort of resistance towards going somewhere, explore it. Try to understand, what is this resistance? Where is it coming from? Why is it there? And sometimes it's that you don't need to be doing that, whatever that is. And it will lead you to another place or another thing to do. This is an incredibly powerful lesson. I am not the victim of the world I see. There's so much going on around us. And when you think of yourself as a victim, you're putting the control, you're putting the power out there and saying that it has nothing to do with you. And the important thing, I'm trying to be sensitive because feeling like a victim is delicate, and people who are in that place of feeling victimized, they're in a very low place. They're in a distrusting place. They're in a place of fear. They're in a place of oftentimes unforgiveness. And, things happen that are painful. And to acknowledge that there was something, some thought, I don't even know if I want to go there. I just think that the important thing that the Course is really talking about is to let go of the past, to forgive the past, and to get to a place where you are living in the present and looking at, despite what happened to me before, or despite the way that I used to think about things, I'm going to change that now. I am going to free myself from that old pattern of thinking, from that old pattern of behaving, and say, I am in control here because I control my thoughts. And when I control my thoughts, I control what comes to me. Now, I know that might be hard to hear because if something really awful happened to you, you don't want to think, I made this happen? Why would I make this happen? This is awful. And I think it's important not to dwell on that because it's in the past, it's over. But instead to look at finding forgiveness for yourself, finding forgiveness for others, and putting all of your energy and all of your focus on what you want now and who you want to be now. What kind of person do you want to be now? Because remember, our perception can be changed. We can change our perception. We can choose love. We can choose happiness. We can choose peace and trust. We can learn to let go of judgments. There's a part here where it says, try not to establish any kind of hierarchy among them. That's about remaining neutral. And I think that's another thing the Course helps us to get to, is a place of neutrality within our lives and the way we see things. Not looking at things as good or bad. Because I'll tell you, there was a time where things were very dark for me, and it was really upsetting. But looking back, I don't think of that as a bad time. I just think of it as a time where I was learning a lot, and I'm grateful for it in the end. In the moment, it was tough, and I didn't necessarily appreciate it in the moment, but eventually I'm able to look and say that I needed that. And that's me. That's my experience. Your experience will be yours and in your way. So if you have a lot of resistance towards this lesson, sit on that, think on that, ask for guidance. Because this is huge. It's your freedom. Okay? So I'm just going to leave that at that. Say, have fun with this lesson, and I will see you for lesson 32.